It's kind of a chilly day. It's not the best day. It's a little out overcast and a little windy. It's about 14 degrees outside. And what's our greenhouse saying right here? Let's check it out. What is it saying? Looks like it's saying 15 degrees in the greenhouse. Usually when the sun is clouded, it's about the same temperature outside as it is inside, minus the wind. So I did had some pawpaws left over from last week. So I have these lavender that have been growing for about a year or two, maybe. I just repotted them last year and they came out really nice. So we're gonna find some places to put them so I can reuse those pots. And I bought this elderberry too. This is called a John's elderberry. It was the biggest one I could find. And I thought, hey, could use another elderberry. As, like I said before, I have an addiction. And we got this repurposed tub here, laundry tub. We're going to set it up and use it as a raised bed. So we'll figure out where we're going to put that. And as you can see, everything is just overgrown here. So I got to do some work on the tractor, fix the front tires so that we can come out here and do some mowing. I do have to mow the lawn out here, even though I know it's a monoculture and I'd love to let it grow. But the problem is there's just too many ticks. The ticks will get you if you don't take care of the grass. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on. It's Mother's Day tomorrow. It's my father's birthday the day after, so we'll be celebrating that. So I don't have a lot of time this week. You can see these are my maple trees that I got for free from my cousin's place there. Just kind of transplanted them from his wooded area. They're doing really well. They're growing really nice, especially with this rain that we've been getting. And let's get to it. Let's go find some places to put these lavender. And we can reuse these pots and get to planting some of these pawpaws. Okay, so, dug a hole, twice the size of the pot. It's my lavender right here. It's all down in here into my beds. This was kind of the original plan anyways, was to put it in front of the bed and then behind it maybe a small tree or something. So I got some compost from my compost pile and we're just gonna fill in the rest. What I did use was some of the dirt I had that I was using to fill the pots, and I helped that, fill in the holes and the gaps, and then a little bit of the clayish stuff that I pulled off the top, and then we'll throw some compost on top of that. As you can see, a little closer there, you can see it's kind of welled or cratered or whatever you want to call it. It's dipped down, concaved. So we're going to throw some compost in there to help it out, give it some nutrients, and to fill in the spot. It's the same as the rest of these three here. We have three here, and then we're going to move up to where originally was my mint. I'm supposed to go up there on the left side of that big tree there, and I'm going to put lavender in there, and then I'm going to fill up those little boxes with something else. So let's get up there and I'll show you. All right, there they are. These were originally supposed to be my mint and peppermint, spearmint. They didn't come up, didn't work out for me. So, new plan. Like I said, in the food forest, when you're designing one, it's always going to change. You just got to roll with the punches and keep going. So, okay, so I got 6 in there. I got 2 more. I'm going to keep these 2 for now until I find a better place for them. I don't know where I want them yet. And then as soon as I can cut this grass, which is just like a jungle out here, as soon as I cut it, it's going to look better. But I got to get those tires fixed first. So let's see what we're up to next. I'm not really sure where I'm going to get to. I might get to the tires. I got to go fill up some of these pots and put some pawpaws in. So let's go do that. All right. In case you missed last week because audio issues, I didn't have the camera faced the right way. So what you're going to do is just put a little hole in there, 1 inch, 2 inch down. And then you're going to find like that you have your root kind of sticking downward. So what you're going to do is just poke a little hole, like a little cavity, right? Just like that. See that little cavity in there? I don't know if you can see that. But you put your little root in there just ever so gently, and then just kind of gently squeeze over top. Put a little bit in there. I mean, be gentle because these things will break very easily if you let them. And then I just slowly cover. It's a little mucky because I just added water to it because it was so dry I couldn't keep the little hole open. So basically that's it. We'll water some more and the dirt will follow all the way around the seed, right? So give it a little bit of water here. It's going to water up, but it's going to sink down, and all that stuff's going to like compress next to it, right? Just the way it's supposed to do naturally. So these are my last here. So I already got a couple in here, and it looks like I got all of my pawpaws rooted now. I don't know if I think I had two bad ones, and I'm not really sure. I'd have to look it up. But still, I put them back in the fridge for a week. No, excuse me, I left them on the windowsill for a week, and I was able to get nice roots out of them. So, like I said, if you're struggling with pawpaws and they're in the fridge and there's no roots coming out, don't fret. Just put them, it's time after 3 months to put them on the windowsill. Okay, and I used this for the second time around, but the first time around I just had them in little baggies with a little, again, paper towel, which it doesn't hurt to have some peroxide to help with the mold issue. Some people say cinnamon, but I've never had a lot of luck with cinnamon. So yeah, just like that, you just poke a hole, get it in there, nice and gentle like this, and that's about it. You want to, if you don't put them down far enough, what'll happen is it'll start growing up this way. The tap root will stay in position and it'll just pop the seed out. So what you really want to do is have it deep enough that that it won't do that. It'll actually push the root down, the tap root down, and then the seed will pop up. But at least that's the issue I had. I don't know what's going on with this drainage here, but this dirt doesn't want to seem to drain. It's kind of mucky here, so I don't know what's going on with that. It's kind of a weird thing to be happening. It's the same stuff I used right out of the truck. But anyways, we're gonna finish that up. I got what do I got there? 3 more seeds there. I got 1 more pot. I'm gonna have to find 2 more pots to do this. And again, you want to use the taller pots. I use the bigger ones too, so I like using these bigger ones here, because you know that when you water them, there'll always be water in the bottom, and you don't have to worry about all the fungus, or excuse me, the moss that grows on the top, and the weeds and everything else. So yeah, it's always good to water from the bottom, but when the pots are big, if you put them in the small pots, I find they just dry out too quickly. Obviously, they're not big enough for the tap root, which is usually about 4 inches before you have to put it into a new pot. So definitely start with a bigger pot. It won't hurt it. It can only make it grow better. All right, so let's keep going. We're gonna have to find a place to put these now. All right, it's moving day. I decided to move these off the ground because they do get a lot of action from, I don't know, possibly mice. I don't know if this little cage was doing the best. Repurposing that cage, which is just a bird cage top or hamster rabbit cage, whatever it was. Anyways, I moved them over to here to a bigger cage that I had when I started my first pawpaws, and I just put the ones that I just did in here as well against the back of this structure, and then it's also on the north side of this property. So you want it on the north side because you don't want it to get direct sunlight. This one here is my pawpaw prison. Now remember, this top stuff is expanded metal, so see how you can't really see through it? It's going to create a shade there. Just like this stuff's rabbit wire, it's obviously going to get light straight through. So it's not bad. It's on the back side. As the sun changes in the next month or two, it'll be mostly in the front, giving just ambient light. So I don't know what's going to happen with these ones from last year. They look like they're struggling a bit. I don't know if they're going to actually bud or not, but we will find out. I have a whole bunch of little flowers on one of my pawpaws out the back, one of my adult ones, and the other one's kind of struggling a bit. So I need more variety in order to get a good fruit set. So these ones came from a different place, and those ones in the Pepsi bottles there, those came from another place last year. So that's about it for the pawpaws anyways. So if you want to book out this video, by all means, this is going to be the end of the pawpaw one. But tomorrow I got a few more things I got to do. I got to work on that tractor and get the tires fixed so I can do the lawn, because you saw the jungle back there, and possibly do a few other things. I'm hoping to, I have those little air layering balls that you can buy online, and I'm dying to give them a try on maybe the lilacs, because they're coming out and they smell so sweet. So I'm gonna go pick a few of those for my mom for Mother's Day. As long as I already gave her flowers as well. I gave her a little hanging pot. So let's get to it. Still got another day's worth of work to do. Okay, so we were fixing the tractor tires, and I had to run into Canadian Tire and get another tube because we wrecked the one. So that's okay, but I had to go through a garden center. So when I did, I picked up some of these potato slips here. These eyed potatoes, seed potatoes, whatever you want to call them. And that's what I got. So these were roughly 10 bucks. This is $8.99 on the pack. And what I'm gonna do is, I was gonna put them in pots this year, but I don't think I'm gonna. I have enough to put them all in just this one raised bed. This one's got the least amount of weeds in it, so we're gonna loosen up the soil a bit, and then we're gonna pull out those weeds, and then we're gonna plant some potatoes. So this is my first year growing potatoes, so let's see how it goes. Okay, there's all my sprouts here. You can see they're pretty tall. So what we can do is we can practically bury the entire thing and then allow that shoot to come up even further, giving us a little deeper spot to grab potatoes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bury these deep. You know, you can see I'm burying them as deep as these sprouts. So basically to the top of them, right? So what I'm going to do too is, after I'm done, is I'm going to mound them, and I'm going to continuously water and mound these throughout the season to create this large mound, and that should help for the other potatoes to grow. So it'll just allow more potatoes to grow. So I want them to keep coming up. So I want to keep kind of burying the slip as I go up, you know. So let's get going. You want to put them within 12 inches from each other, and they say roughly 3 inches below, but I'm going to go a little further because you can see these the slips are actually longer than 3 inches. So, or the sprouts. Okay, so let's get that done. I mean, I only lightly turn the dirt here. I know it goes against the digging and tilling, I guess, but this stuff's been sitting here for 3 years, or I think 2 years, and it's really compacted. So we wanted to loosen up the soil a little bit. So I'm going to plant these up, and I'll show you the end result, and we'll see if we can get out of here. All right, it doesn't look much different than it did earlier, but as the slips start to grow, I'll come in and I'll mound around each one of them, and I'll keep doing that throughout the season. But I have enough left over I think I'm going to try some of those pots. I was going to put some of these in pots this year, but I have all of these sprouts left, so let's go do it. Let's go throw a couple in a few pots, use some different dirt, and see the difference between growing out in a raised bed or an old pot. So let's go check it out. Let's go get that done. Okay, growing potatoes in a pot. I put 5 in this one, 5 in another, and 4 in another. That's what I had left, and I wasn't going to do 5 buckets of this stuff. So I put them down as far as I can. I'm just going to lightly cover this, and then I'm going to let it grow. Then I'm going to cover it again, and I'm going to do that until it gets to the top. So let's get some other topsoil and throw it on top of there. Okay, well, it seems like it's another end of the weekend. Next weekend's the long weekend. I got an extra long weekend, so I should be up here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And I had a lot of work to do. I wasn't able to get the tractor fixed so that I could cut the grass, so it's going to be extra long cutting the jungle here, so it's going to take a little bit longer. So it's a good thing I got a couple of days off. I just wanted to show you a little bit more of these potatoes here. As you can see, I just added a little bit more dirt, some of the plants showing. I'll come in next week, see if they've grown, and if they have, I'll add more dirt or soil. And again, I'll slowly keep building that up for the next month or two, and then the slips will grow at the top, and then, or the plants or whatever, and then that's about it. So just a little thing here. These are my bare root stuff here. Just want to give you a little quick update. My persimmon is kind of sort of fighting its way. I guess they're a little slow. 2 out of 3 are doing okay. One's struggling a bit. The gummy berry's doing really well now. They're all leafing out, and the quince is doing fine. So, yay me. I got a lot more to plant. It's like I'll be planting for the next month or so. So, like I said, there's some of my maple trees. They're doing really well. Those are the ones I stole from or got for free. I mean, again, just put them in a pot and look how well they're doing. There's a bunch of house caps down there too, so I have another row of house caps to put in. I got a whole bunch of strawberries, I got grapes, and one more thing I'm going to show you before I finish off, but I'm going to go home first and then I'm going to show you what I got. Well, this is what I wanted to show you. It came in the mail. It took about a month to get them, actually. Came from China. These are sapphire finger grapes. So, sapphire grapes, whatever. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to growing these. They have really long grapes. They're not round like the end of your finger. They're like long to like the knuckle. Like they're really long. And they're supposed to be super sweet and low in fat and sugars and stuff like that. So they're good for diabetics or something like that. But anyways, I'm just happy to have these because now I have to stratify them because I don't think they have been stratified. I have some in these pots that it's sitting on. So we'll see if they'll pop up just in normal germination. But if not, I plan to stick some in the fridge in a moist paper towel in a baggie, and it's going in the fridge for a couple of months. And then hopefully by the end of summer, we'll have some finger grapes. These grow a little bit differently, so they don't have to grow up like a vine. They can grow a little bit more like a tree. So you'll see what I mean when I start growing them. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stick around with me while I keep building this food forest up. And yeah, you guys have a great week. That's the end of this video. Stay safe.